Hey guys, it's Ashley with AMJ Graphics. Today I'll be explaining how to turn text into a path that will allow your Cricut, Silhouette, or other cutting machines to cut out using vinyl. In my first video, I explained an overview of Inkscape and the most used tools that I use to create my images. And my second video I highly recommend is learning the shortcut keys on Inkscape to improve your design time. It cuts down the time so much and makes things so much easier. And I'll put those video links below. I also, if you go to my channel and look at my playlist, after the video title, it'll say a 1, 2, or 3. So I highly recommend starting at the very beginning if you're going to be using Inkscape to do your digital graphics. Okay, so we're just turning text into paths right now. So if you go to your left and click the A, we're going to click it. We're going to hold down the left mouse key and drag a box out so we can type in our text. I'm going to type in AMJTutorials. And then I'm going to go to the left and click the mouse cursor to select it. Now, the text is selected. I'm going to hold down the Control Shift so when I resize it to make it bigger, it holds its proportion. Okay, I'll move it to the center of my screen. Okay, now we have our text written out. If you click the A text button on the left again and double click your text that you've written, it'll highlight that. And here you can go on the top left and you'll see the font style name. You can drop down the arrow and it has all these default fonts that your computer came with, and you can pick out which font you would like to use. And my next video will tell you how to download fonts and what font site I use to download different fonts styles. So now that I have my font style, now we need to turn this into a path. And when I say path, it basically means turn it into a path that your cutting machine, if you're using a Cricut, your Cricut's going to recognize that. So everything that you design in here will become a path. So we've selected it. This is what we're wanting to turn into a path. We're going to go on the top and click under the Path tab. Go down to Object to Path. And again, if you look down at the lower, beneath the color swatches down here, the info bar, it says Group of 12 Objects, so you know that when we click that, that's what we did. If you go over to Object and go down to Ungroup, it's going to ungroup the text and they're going to become individual groups. Now we're going to go back to Path and go down to Union. And we're going to make it 1 because when I put this into my Cricut program, I'm wanting it to cut out this whole thing as 1. Then just to check our work and just to make sure that we did everything right, on the left hand side below the mouse cursor, you're going to see the Edit Paths by Nodes. Always click that just to make sure that the little gray boxes show up, because again, in my first video when I went over just general information, these nodes allows the Cricut to know where to cut whenever you place it into your Cricut program. So that's right. Let's just select that. Okay, now I'm just gonna touch on the align and distribute because I use this a lot when I create text. I'm just going to go and create another text, left hand A, hold down and drag the box out, type my word, select the object, Control Shift and hold to resize it up. I'm going to leave the font style like it is. I'm going to turn this text into a path. path, object to path, go over to the object tab, object, ungroup, then back to the path tab and union. We're going to double check our work and we did it right. So now we have two texts that have been turned into a path. Now I'm wanting to make sure that the videos is centered with the AMJTutorials text. So to select both of these, I'm going to click the videos, going to hold the shift key down while I click the AMJTutorials. So they're both selected. And then in my shortcut videos, I said that I like these 3 tools on the right because they come in handy and I use them a lot. So if you don't have that popped up, you're going to hit Control-Shift-A, and on the right it'll pop up the Align and Distribute. You can see it says Align up here on the top left, and I'm going to center it. So it says center on vertical axis. So I'm going to click it and it's going to center those 2 texts. If I wanted it to align the left edges, I would click this and it would align the left edges. But I want it to be centered. So if this is how I want it to cut out on my, say if I'm putting this on a shirt, this is how I want it to cut out. I'm going to go to Path, Union. And it's going to cut this whole thing out as one. We're going to go up to File, Save As. I like to make sure that I'm in the correct folder, and I'm going to click Libraries. I'm going to save this under my Documents, and then I'm going to create a new folder, and I always say like Inkscape. Double click into that folder, and then I'll name this file as AMJTutorial. Then it says save as type. I'm going to click that down, and you're always going to save it as a plain SVG. Plain SVG. It has many other options. Some cutting machines like the Silhouette, they accept DXF files. So whatever your machine accepts, that's what you should save it under. Cricut and I believe the Silhouette now will accept SVG files. So we're going to save it as the plain SVG. Always the plain SVG. And click Save. And there you have it. It's saved. So just an overview of what we went over in the video today. We converted our text into a path, so now our cutting machine will be able to cut this text out. If you'd like to subscribe for my channel for more videos on how to use Inkscape, please do. And just by pressing the like button, that lets me know if my video helped you in any way. Or if you have comments or questions, please just comment below. But I would be glad to help if you guys have any questions. Thanks guys, happy creating!